Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is now 12:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is Sunday. And I am here with somebody that I hope to refer to as a friend, even though a lot of you trolls out there are not going to like the sound of that. But I'm here with Trevon James, live. Trevon, Trey, what do you want me to call you?
You can call me Trey.
Trey, all right. Yeah. Trey's so much easier, and I'm big and lazy, so that sounds good to me. First of all, man, I want to thank you sincerely for coming on with me because I really didn't know of any time you've ever done a video before on YouTube and or an interview on YouTube, and right. I do feel honored that you're willing to accept my invite and do this with me.
That's what's up, man. Oh,
you know,
I appreciate it, man.
You know, look, I know that there are going to be a lot of people in chat who are going to be hateful and mean and angry, and a lot of people are they like to put all the blame of this whole BitConnect thing on you, and I think that so much of that is just wrongly distributed, and right. And we'll come to that at another point. You know, this isn't about BitConnect. This is about Trevon James. To me, this is about the guy that I've watched since my dude. You are literally one of the. I got some of my very first Bitcoin from you, and I don't even know if you remember or realize, but I was watching. I forget what video. I know it was one of these videos where you were teaching the moving averages. In technical analysis, and I posted a comment in that video because I'm like, this is great. That was like my first thing that I ever learned about technical analysis. That was like 3.5 years ago, however long it was. And then I come back to watch the next video, and you were talking about, I felt like I was in, was it Romper Room or whatever, where she's like, I see Billy and I see James, like the little kid show, and you were calling my name out. And I'm like, what the hell? And then you're like, yeah, you won, I forget however much Bitcoin it was, but I think it was like $1,000 in Bitcoin or something at the time. I don't remember. And sure enough, man, I see this Bitcoin pop up in my wallet because I won some random drawing that you were doing all the time.
I've never heard anyone speak to me and say that they got the Bitcoin.
Really?
And that's really crazy to listen to it, because that's a lot of money, like, to give to somebody in the comment section.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was quite a bit. And you know, you were doing this like every day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was like, holy cow, not only am I learning from this dude, but he just sent me some Bitcoin for posting a comment. And, you know, I don't win anything, man. I'm the most unlucky dude in the world for the most part. Right. So, you know, that was such a big thing, you know? And so I kept watching your videos, and I feel like, dude, you are so you're in a different plane than most people on YouTube, because, you know, I did a recent video where I was kind of talking about how a lot of YouTubers are always talking about, I like this coin's going to the moon, and just all the same shit, right? And it's almost like an echo chamber. It's like when somebody says something, everybody else kind of latches on, and then everybody else is talking about it. Nobody really seems to know what the hell they're talking about more often than not, but they're all talking about whatever's the pump of the day or the pump of the week.
Right.
And when I watch your videos, you're like living and breathing this shit. Like, I could tell I just watched other videos, something like $8,500 a month or whatever. But you went through all these different platforms showing, this is where I have my tokens, and this is what I'm earning, and this is how, and you just go through all the details. It's like, you're not trying to pump shit. You're just saying, this is how I'm having a good time enjoying myself in crypto. This is all the crazy ass stuff I'm finding, and I'm having a blast with it. And I truly love that about you and your channel. And I really don't think you get enough credit.
I think most crypto YouTubers, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, but I think a lot of them are just focused on price, and that's cool. But it's probably going to wreck a lot more people in the long run, I mean, we've seen this happen the last bull cycle where everyone was talking about, you know, the ICOs, and a lot of people got wrecked with the ICOs, and a lot of people are getting wrecked with DeFi coins. So I think going into some of the platforms and building, I guess, streams of the known coins like Ethereum is a smarter idea long term than jumping in and out of pumps. But focusing on price is cool, but I don't think that's going to really help the majority, the masses. The masses aren't traders and charters.
Right.
The masses are investors, and they just sit there. If they want to invest, they don't want to be looking at charts. They want to just put their money somewhere and just have it do something. So that's why I just focus on. I look at myself as the average user. Even though I'm not, I try to play that role where I just want to be like kind of just the user. I don't want to be trying to trade. I want to just sit my crypto somewhere and just let it do its thing.
Yeah, I completely understand. Like I always tell everybody, I'm no guru. I'm just some dumbass dude on the internet.
I don't want to try and be a guru, man. I just want to do crypto.
Because it's virtually impossible. We're at the very forefront of an entire new era of technology, and there's no possible way any of us as hobbyists or crypto lover, I mean, it doesn't matter how much we love the technology, it doesn't matter what we think about the space, it's impossible for any one of us to keep. There's so much new stuff happening and so much new technology coming out, new projects. We can't all know everything there is to know about all of them. So, you know, but I feel like a lot of people expect us to. What do you think about this coin? I had like 6,500 tokens out there, and I get so many. What do you think about this coin and that coin? And I'm like, I don't think about it because I've never heard of it before just now.
Yeah, what I like to do is just when someone asks me about something at this point in time, I just tell them they're all going to go up. You know, it doesn't really matter. Like at this point, it's going to be pretty hard to not win at this current point. But going forward the next year, that isn't going to be true anymore.
Right.
So now is a good time to be in pretty much any coin as long as it's not just a blatant rug pull scam on Uniswap. But yeah, I'm getting kind of sick of this coin, that coin, because it doesn't matter. They're all going to do good as long as they're legit.
See, the way I've been looking at the market is there are a lot of projects in like 2017, whether they be ICO projects or just projects that have already, you know, started prior to the bull market and of the last season. And I've been really trying to focus on those more than all the latest, newest stuff, because to me, from a fundamental perspective, I'm more interested in the projects that have survived this very difficult bear market and are still progressing. They're still meeting roadmap milestones.
You're in not Chainlink, but Cardano, right?
I'm Cardano. I named my cat Cardano.
I just started buying Cardano, but I kind of regret it now, though.
You regret buying Cardano?
Yeah, so far.
It dips with the rest of the market.
Say what?
I mean, it dips with the rest of the market.
Yeah. I just wish I would have waited till like now to start.
Oh well. Sure.
But Cardano.
I wish I would have loaded up at 2 cents more than I did. I mean,
say what?
I wish I would have loaded up at 2 cents more than I did.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point where you could get 418,000 Cardano for 1 Bitcoin, and I'm still crying about it that I didn't do it.
Yeah. I just the problem I have with Cardano is that it doesn't work. Like I bought some Cardano thinking like I'm gonna be able to stake it, and then I go download the wallet, and then it's saying I don't have enough space on my hard drive, and I'm just like, man, this shit is not finished. Like it's just not. I'm not trying to flood Cardano, but it's just
you didn't have enough space on your hard drive to stake it.
Yeah, like to download the wallet, it was like basically just.
You didn't have enough room to download the dataless. You couldn't download the blockchain using dataless.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So if you're in that situation, you could always use the Yoroi wallet.
Yeah, I was gonna look into that next, but it's just that's like going back to what I said. I like to look at myself as the user, even though I can probably get Cardano wallet to work. I can probably go do have some workarounds I can do. I can sit at this, look at it, and say it's not ready for the average person.
I never even looked to see how big the blockchain is. I've never even paid attention. I know it does take a little
Every
while.
time I try to use the dataless wallet, it doesn't. It's an issue, but it's just that it's just not ready. Like the where I'm at with crypto, I'm at the state. Well, I guess I would call it a stage where I'm kind of letting things come to me because I'm pretty satisfied with the crypto that I have. So I'm kind of just like, okay, when Cardano was like, this is why I said I wish I would have waited, because I'm like, when Cardano is ready, I'll just let it come to me. Same thing with Polkadot and all these other blockchains that everybody's trying to do the interoperability with.
When you say come to me, what do you mean?
Like DeFi, dApps. Like when Cardano has DeFi and dApps and stuff that I can use, like I showed in that video where how much I was earning, when it has stuff like that, then I would be like, okay, Cardano is ready for me. You know, now I can come on there, I can buy some, I can play, I can swap out some ETH for some Cardano, put the Cardano in this, and work it like that. But just holding it and sitting and holding it and waiting for it to be finished is just like.
So what do you think is going to change when Goguen launches on Cardano? How do you think that's going to change things?
I mean, what is Goguen? That's the next era for it.
So Goguen is actually when I'm okay. Just by asking that, I'm like, okay, we're gonna learn Trevon something today. So yeah, Goguen is basically the smart contract protocol, and when that launches, you're actually going to be able to migrate just about any smart contract based dApp from Ethereum to Cardano seamlessly. Okay. So
that's good.
Yeah, so you're talking about a more scalable, faster, cheaper blockchain with all the bells and whistles. And all that's these dApp developers. Hey, you know what? I think Tron's fun, and we're gonna get to that because I know I see a lot of your logos and stuff now. You have like Tron eyeballs and everything.
Yeah, else. Those are my old. Like I need to make some new merch.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because dude, I have a lot of fun with the stuff that you put out. I'm seriously, I have my pad ready. I'm gonna go through like 2 or 3 of your recent videos where you basically break down all these other platforms. And I'm like, I might set up some accounts on them and just have some fun. Like it's just a fun late night thing for me. So
yeah, somebody just set up a yield farming token on Tron. It's called Corn.
Corn.
You can yield corn with ANK and Just. So the DeFi is coming. It's like right. It's like coming on Tron, like right. It like I just saw it like right before this live stream. Somebody posted it in my Telegram.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like when it's ready, it's like you're gonna be good with Cardano because you're in it. You're absorbed with you're all in Cardano, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
You're gonna do good. But Cardano, yeah, someone just said in the chat, Cardano needs time, and that's Cardano is just taking too long.
Yeah.
Even though it's gonna be great when whatever you said, Goguen, when they have the ETH, you can switch over to whatever from ETH to ETH to Cardano, then that'll be great. But I don't want to hold and be waiting on that, just because they might not ever happen.
I've been
a long time. There have been a lot of promises, man.
I feel
I didn't buy a lot. I have like 15,000 Cardano.
Man, you got to get at least the 100,000. You got to get to 100,000.
If it comes down to about 5 cents, maybe I can get there.
I don't see that happening.
Of course you don't.
You're a bad holder. Well, look, it's already been down to 2 cents during the bear market. And, it's gone up 488%.
I think Bitcoin's going down to 98. So if Bitcoin goes to 98, then it's probably going to get back down there to about 5 cents.
You think it's getting down to 9,800?
Yeah, because there's a gap at 9,800. And every gap on Bitcoin for the past year, or probably further than that, every gap's been filled. The CME gap.
Yeah.
It's at 9,800. And I mean, I would rather it do it now than us go up to like 20,000, 30,000, and then come back down to 9,800 and fill it. You know,
See,
I'd
what's the
rather
logic behind that gap fill? I
I
remember
have no
something
idea.
about.
I did some research on it when I was talking about it in one of my videos. I don't really understand the whole gap thing, but what I can see on the damn chart is that every time there's a gap, the price comes back towards it and fills it and then goes back
I
up.
read something about it too, and I'm like, oh, I get it, but it didn't. But I can't remember what the hell it was. It's been a
Yeah, I
while.
can't remember what it's when basically it's when the market opens at a price.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like the market closes at this price
Mm-hmm.
and then it opens up at this price the
Mm-hmm.
next day. Because CME, you know, that's like they're not trading on 24-hour.
Right, that's right.
So they're when the market closes and it opens at us, it's like it skipped this price discovery area, and then it's like, well, hey guys, we got to go figure out we got to go see what's up with that $9,800 range, you know,
Right.
so it comes back down to it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's gonna. I mean, there have been a couple of times where the gap wasn't filled, but I think it.
I'm sure, yeah, there are times where it doesn't happen, but it's like you don't really want to.
Well, I'm in a Bitcoin long trade right now, and 97.70 is my liquidation price. So
So yeah, like you can't well, not you, but I don't. As of recently, I've changed my mind to be like, just because I'm in a position, I don't want to think that it can't happen.
Oh,
I'm gonna try
right.
and
Oh,
find that
no.
gap.
Trust me. I've been on the wild end of both of those kinds of situations where it's like shot up when I wasn't expecting it, and the opposite. I mean, anything can happen.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
definitely not ignorant to that.
It's
This
just
is
that,
crypto.
like, for the gap, it's like when I went and looked at the past gaps on Bitcoin, like all the most recent ones got filled, and I didn't see one that didn't get filled.
I thought there was one somewhere around 10.2 or something like that didn't fill.
Maybe. I'm trying to find it while we're.
That was, I think, from like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I could be a little wrong. I mean, I'm not 100%, but so like what? So how old is it? You have a baby boy, don't you? Is he even a baby anymore? Like
My son, I got a son and a daughter.
Oh,
my
you
son
do?
is yeah, he's about to turn 4, and my daughter is 2.
Okay, so your daughter is the youngest, because I
Yeah.
remember you guys had just had her, I think, when a lot of the craziness started going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I remember you talking about your house and like what you were trying to do, like how you wanted to get a house for your family and all of this other stuff. And it's like, man, it's crazy because, you know, it's so many things change, especially when you have a daughter. Like having a daughter, I have 3 daughters, so I know how. I know how everything changes in life, man. When you've got a
So you got 3 daughters? I just heard that.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters.
So you don't have any sons?
I have a stepson.
Okay.
My wife has a son who's like 16, and you know, but and I have a 21-year-old son in Arizona. So you know,
Okay.
I probably have 10
I found
more.
that my daughter is easier to deal with as a man than my son.
You know, it's kind of weird. Well, my 2 oldest daughters, my oldest is just like me. So when she does stuff, I'm like, I think I understand you. My middle daughter is really just like her mother. And then she does things and I'm like, yeah, I still understand you, but because you're a clone of this person. And then my youngest daughter is like, she's like a complete blend of my wife and I. So, and it's definitely challenging. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Like I used to be real rough around the edges. I used to be real aggressive. I mean, I came from MMA, you know, I was in that for 6 years, and I went from that into the mortgage industry. So you can't smack people around in mortgage, right? It's like if you have a coworker who's running their mouth, you can't just like drop a bow on them and like, you know, move on about your day. You know, it's like, it's just not like that. So, and my wife has tamed me quite a bit over the last decade. So, you know, you mix that in with having daughters, and then you're just kind of sitting around watching the news like an elderly person, like you're supposed to, I think, at my age. So, anyway, so I guess, so I'm looking at Gap is easy, guys. Learning a lot, just kind of checking out some of the comments. Not as much hate. Not as much hate as I think we expected.
I saw a couple of BitConnect comments in there, but yeah, most of it's died down. I think most people have
It's kind of
realize
played
that it's
out at
not.
this point, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's,
You
most of
know,
those, everybody's happy in a bull market. It's hard to be upset with someone in a bull market. When
well,
the Bears come back, they'll probably start to show up again.
yeah, I do notice that like sentiment across the board definitely changes with the market and what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here's the thing, and I say this on my channel all the time. You know, I just did a whole video specifically about this. Like, do not run out and buy anything any one of us YouTubers talks about
Yeah,
just because we're
it's
talking
really
about it.
weird how, like, I mean, I have a Patreon, so I talk about what I do,
Mhm.
and then I see people, I get it, but I think a big problem at being, I think a thing, something that we need to realize as YouTubers is YouTube in certain niches is a place where people come to learn,
Mm-hmm.
right? So as YouTubers, we have to keep that in mind. People are searching for information. People are searching for what's the next thing to buy, and people are, and being that they're doing that, they're FOMOing and they're just taking. Okay, you said this coin's good. All right, I'm going to get some.
Right.
I get that every day from one of my patrons. They ask me about something. I give my opinion on it, and then they say, "Okay, I'm gonna go get some."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, man. Take what I said, go apply that to with your research, and then make your decision. Just because I say something is good does not mean I am not a prophet, even though we're in a bull market, so of course I'm right a lot. So people think that being that I'm right a lot, that I'm some type of prophet, but really all it is I'm into crypto, so I know something that's decent, and all it takes is something being decent in a bull market for it to go up in price.
Yeah, and I think the other aspect of that is the fact that, as YouTubers, the majority of us now, this is what we do. We sit around, we research cryptocurrencies,
Right.
we read about projects, we read white papers, we're testing different things out, we're playing with stuff, we're considering different offers and all that kind of thing. And for the common person that's watching YouTube, they've got a full-time job. They've also got a family. They have a lot of things that are taking up a lot of that time. So they're looking to us to try and, shorten that time span, like shorten the amount of time they have to invest in finding projects that are worthwhile. But, as long as everybody understands, hey, it's crypto. We can be wrong about anything at any time. And even the best projects on the planet can go straight to hell tomorrow. You just never know what's going to happen 100%.
And I see that every day too. Like, people are coming in, like I talked about the corn coin. Like, people are coming in every day with these new meme type coins. And I would recommend, this is what I'm saying to my patrons. If the coin sounds like a joke, then it probably is a joke. Like, someone came in there, I had to ban them because they said, "Hey, Bitcoin is mooning." Bitcoin. I had to ban them just for saying, I had to set a standard. I don't care if you're a patron or not. I gotta ban you because you can't. You don't want to invest in something like that, because if they didn't take the time to be creative enough to come up with a cool name or a better sounding project, then they probably not going to put that same. They're going to probably put that same energy into the code. If they're going to just say, let's make a meme coin called, Bitcoin. What do you think the code is? The code is going to be solid on that?
Well, some people look at that kind of thing as a marketing to get people talking about it, just like
right.
we are now.
If that's all they have is marketing, then the
then
code isn't going to be
right,
worth anything. So
yeah,
that's just a little pro tip. If it's called Bitcoin, or if it has some type of funny name, just
poop token,
don't buy it. Just look for something else.
Although it did seem like toilet paper token did pretty well for a while.
For a while, right? But definitely not a long-term play.
Right. Yeah. Well, and here's the way I look at it. I look at all of crypto at this point is still pretty much in its infancy, and a lot of the groundwork is being laid out for the next, decade, century.
And I think the meme coins can do well. Like, I think we might have a era where they will do well once, like you said, the foundation is laid and it's easier to clone these solid projects. But right now, if they're not right now, it's about creativity for sure. Like creativity is what's important. Innovation is what's important.
Right.
And if they're not being innovative right now, then you should just stay away from it. But sometimes people don't know when something is innovative because they don't know what's been done. Like MYX. MYX is a coin that everybody's been talking about for the past 2 weeks. And it's a direct clone of Pyro. It's been done before. And it's even speculated that the same developer created MYX. But people don't know what's been done before. So
I think what we need, I wish somebody could just come up with a really solid blockchain that's like peer reviewed, developed by like the greatest minds from all over the world. Probably would take a lot longer to get off the ground than others, but man, if we only had something like that. Cardano. Cardano.
Cardano, man. I mean, like, even what's his name, Charles?
Charles, yeah.
He was shot at me, like, because I tweeted
Somebody
at him.
Posted that. I didn't even know that ever happened.
Yeah, he tweeted out something. Someone called him. One of these articles or something said something like, you know, Charles, co-founder of Ethereum. And he got mad because they called him co-founder of Ethereum. So I made a little joke. I retweeted it. It was like, co-founder of Ethereum doesn't want to be called co-founder of Ethereum. He wants to be called founder of his new project, which is better than, it's like some joke I made, right? He made this, went on this rant. And then he went on his live stream, was talking about how I can never come back from BitConnect, and you know, like it's something you don't ever come back from. It's like, man, like that shit kind of hurt my feelings.
You know,
because he's Charles, like Charles,
right?
He's a big. You would think that he would, you know, I don't know, like that shit just kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting on Cardano, man. I did a response video, and I said, I'm ready. I'm waiting on Cardano, man. You go finish Cardano. So I can play with some of the dApps and DeFi on it.
You know, here's the way I see it. And I want to tread lightly on this, but like, where do you have any idea? Like, what's come of this? Like, you're here on YouTube. You're not locked up in Peru somewhere. Like, what? People want to throw a lot of shade at you, and they want to blame you for everything. And I mean, you see a lot of the trolls and the FUD and everything going on. Him in the chat, and it's almost like everybody thinks you started this whole thing.
Someone said, "How's BitConnect?"
Right?
How's anything? Like, if you look at any coin from that era, they all went down at least 80% in value, just like BitConnect did.
Oh, the majority. There are a lot of stuff went down almost 90%,
and a lot of them haven't come back up. So. That's one thing right there.
I will say one thing, Trey. When you came back after all that stuff, and you were like picking that tokens going back to $5 or whatever, like you did some video where, and I see if somebody posted in chat, they were like, it's at 93 cents. It was like 5 cents at the time you said you did that video. And if it's actually back up to almost $1, I mean, wow. Because
it still runs on a blockchain. You can go look at the Block Explorer and see the transactions and stuff still happening.
Yeah,
I still have my wallet.
Crazy.
I still have my wallet staking. I think if anything, BitConnect will be like a meme coin. It could be a rare collectible. So that's how I choose to look at it. And it still has a value. It's 93 cents. It's not zero. So.
I mean, yeah, sure.
It's up. If it was 5 cents, then that means it's up like what? How many X is that? Yeah, you can say it's $1. It's like 10X.
Like 20. I mean,
I suck at man. I suck at X's. I suck at X's.
20,
but it's
20,
up a lot.
20 times 5 would be 100.
Yep. So
basic math, stupid basic math like that is always so difficult when you're like on the spot. I know.
I'm good with the percentages, but not the X's.
So I mean, I guess the question that I legitimately have a couple questions, and to be fair, you know, I asked Trey before this, hey, can we talk about this a little bit? And he's like, yeah, we can talk about it. Like, it's cool.
It's okay. I mean, I talk about it. The people like to ask. Sometimes people ask me about the investigation.
Yeah.
As far as the investigation, they weren't investigating whether or not I was involved with it, and that's a big misconception. People think that they're investigating whether or not I was involved. They were investigating whether or not it was a security and if I was selling them. And that's what, I don't really want to talk about that because I don't even know what a security is. And even if I was, it doesn't have to do with me. I didn't create BitConnect. So it's like, I like to compare it to Walmart. So say Walmart was doing something illegal and then the SEC decided to go after the employees. That would still not make any sense. You would go after the people that run the company. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah,
but
man.
They weren't trying to figure out. I mean, they were at the beginning, but that was obvious that I wasn't involved with it.
Right.
You see, that was early on, and then towards the end, they started talking about the securities, selling securities. What's the security? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and so
if I was involved with it, just know if I was. So this guy James in the chat, he's going hard. He said you shielded. What isn't that what we're all doing here? Like that's what everybody like. Crow is shilling Cardano. Now, if Cardano goes to 0, are you gonna blame Crow?
Of course they will.
Oh, you will.
Sure
yeah, they will.
Somebody will. But everything's our fault for some reason.
That won't make any sense.
Right.
You go after Charles. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say on it.
Okay, and I'll end with this comment. When I would watch your videos, to me it looked like a YouTube crypto hobbyist who was just, I mean, like everything else that you do, you get really excited about.
Was euphoric.
Right.
Imagine the euphoria that imagine where I was before BitConnect. And imagine the euphoria that I'm experiencing during the height of BitConnect.
Right.
And then I was doing stuff before that too. Like I was doing Genesis mining. I flew out to Iceland. Genesis mining invited me to Iceland to look at their mining. It's a lot that I was doing before BitConnect. BitConnect is actually the tail end of everything that I was doing before then. But imagine the euphoria that I gave you $1,000, bro, and didn't think anything of it.
Right.
Until you just told me just now.
Right.
So, it's a lot to consider.
There is a lot.
That era.
People love to be angry, and a lot people love to point the finger, and people love to assume the easiest about somebody, and especially when it's bad. And I grew up. I grew up rough, man. You know what I mean? I've seen all kinds of stuff, and I know all kinds of people, and you've never struck me as, I mean, dude, there are YouTubers.
I'm not a bad guy, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like you've never come off to me that way.
It's hard. Of course, I would say that, but no one else can say it.
I think I've got you pegged. Let's just say that, and that's why you're here. I just think you're somebody who got really caught up in something that was extremely exciting, and you're sharing it, and you were doing well, and other people were doing well. Yeah. And like, who wouldn't? And
what's interesting about that, I want to know what's really interesting about the whole ending of it is it probably would have kept going if the states didn't make them send a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Because that's what stopped it. So that's what you should be mad at.
Well, technically, I do wonder about that, though. Is it the cease and desist, or is it the beginning of the down market, or the bear market? Because stuff like that can't really survive in a bear market. And
I don't know. I don't know if it could, because I barely remember how it worked. But I do know that everything was going fine until the states got involved.
True.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
So that's what's the most interesting is no one gets mad at the states for, everybody blames BitConnect, but
it's kind of like the police coming and breaking up a high school party.
Right. That's it.
Everybody's doing something that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Will everybody be okay? Maybe. Few people are probably going to get hurt in the process. Right. Somebody dropped some bad whatever, But yeah, the police came and broke up a high school party, and it is what it is. I guess all I'm trying to say is, man, like I've watched you and I've watched a lot of your different videos for a long time now, and that's just your niche. Just cryptocurrencies that pay dividends or that enable you to earn more in
Right.
fun ways, or that's just your thing.
And then
so
along
for
the
you
way,
to
I
fall
learned
into something like
charting.
BitConnect just makes sense to me, because that's like the epitome of, like, if let's just say hypothetically it were all real, that it wasn't a smoke show, right? And that you would have been considered a god. You know what I mean? It just went the other way.
Yeah.
And so, everybody wants to
I
point the finger,
was
but
until it went bad.
yeah, true.
I was. Everyone, if you would have went to San Francisco, that was like heaven on earth, man. It was like a love fest. No one had anything bad to say to me. It was pure euphoria. There's no other word for it, but it was a blast until, the end. So
I totally get it. And honestly, I'm just glad that you're still here. As much as the haters want to hate and say what they want, I personally enjoy your videos. I enjoy what you offer. And I do learn a lot of stuff from you. Like, to this day, I still learn a lot of fun things from you. And I really just appreciate you not backing down and not letting that beat you out of the space, because you're definitely a one-of-a-kind kind of dude. And you're definitely appreciated, I think, a lot more than the trolls want to let others believe you are.
Right, yeah.
So, and I'm not one to... man, it's like I look at my channel as kind of like the hotel and John Wick, you know what I mean? And the influencer group that I have, it's like it's same thing. It's just nobody's perfect. We all make bad calls. We all get involved in projects that we love and that we think are going to change the world, and then something happens. And
it's about the intent. Your intent.
I agree.
Important. You can be right, and you can be right a lot. But if your intent is bad, then that's not good.
What's the number one altcoin that you're having the most fun with, or generating? Not Tron. I know you love Tron, but what's the number one altcoin that you're having the most fun with right now and like playing around with?
You're gonna ask me the question, then you're gonna tell me what to not say, the one that I'm having the most fun with.
What? No.
You're gonna ask me the question and then go tell me the answer to your question is the one you told me not to say.
Oh, Tron. Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, it's between Ethereum and Tron. Now, outside the sub tokens, I gotta say, my own platform, Toucan Air. That's the one I'm probably having the most fun with. It has the most contracts. I would say it has about. Look, I can count them really quick.
Toucan Air is your platform?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No. I just thought you found something that just was named after the way you always talk.
I wouldn't. I guess it's a community. It's community driven, but the word and the site is, my idea now. The developer, he comes up with the ideas as far as what kind of contracts we should deploy. But yeah, it was my brainchild. Yeah. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 smart contracts on Toucan Air. And using that platform is really fun. Next to that, I would say I like BetFury. BetFury is centralized, but it's fun. Bankroll. But it's not really, like, for me, it's not really about what altcoin. To me, it's I like platforms, smart contracts.
Right.
Mostly the only one that I ever talk about that's centralized is BetFury, because I got started on it and it was centralized, and I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. So that's the only one that can really like disappear. But everything else, smart contracts. As long as I got the contract address, I can get my funds out. Do I have all the contract addresses written down? No, I'm not that responsible.
Early on, I got scared away from one of those gambling sites. I was just dabbling in it, learning it. And I found this strategy for the dice game that was like unbeatable.
Until it wasn't.
Well, because it was rigged. Like, so I did everybody plays these dice games with the crypto, and they're always, like some people said, well, I'll bet, here's my number, it's going over under, okay, and it comes out under, all right, then I'm going to double my bet, and then I'm going to keep doubling it until I get it right? Because you got a 50-50 shot. The odds are you're going to get it back at some point, right?
That's called martingale.
Yeah, okay. So I started off with that. Well, then I did this other strategy where I bet to lose, and I doubled the strategy every time I lost, knowing I was going to lose, but by the time I won huge. And I set that on autopilot. I let that thing run for 2 hours. I did this on I used Sia coin because you could get just a buttload of Sia coin for like
what site lets you gamble with Sia coin?
I think it was I wanted to say New Jack City, but that's not it. It's I think Fortune City or something like that.
They let you gamble with Sia coin?
Yeah, it was one of those
random coin.
Yeah, and they were always trying to get me to be an affiliate. And I'm like, no. So anyway, I did this. I let this thing run for like 2 hours. I let this strategy just purr away. And I was winning hard. So then I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to let it run all through the night.
I've done that.
So I let this thing run all through dude, I kid you not. I was up so much by the time I woke up. I wasn't losing. I can't even tell you how ahead I was. So like 100x, like crazy gains, right? I go to the bathroom, I take a shower, I come back, it's all gone.
Yeah.
It was all gone. I let this thing run for at least like 10 hours total, and it was gone. I did that before.
I went to work one time on it's an old site called something dice. But I had this strategy. I can't remember how. It was so long ago. I can't remember. But I let it run, and I came up. But then I tried to do it again, and I gave it all back. So lesson learned: if you're gambling and you're up, just stop.
Yeah,
take their money and go.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, I think just leave. This is here's the reality, folks. Some of you guys if you want to make a statement and you want the world to know that you unsub from a channel that supports open discussion, Value Entertainment has murderers that he interviews. And, it's like people like that they're just prejudging. They don't think for themselves. They want to run all over the internet and be told everything to buy. And then if something doesn't work out for them, they want to point the finger at everybody but their own fucking ignorance. And then they come on the chats like this and are unsubbing. I can't believe this. Fuck off then.
They don't have a voice.
I don't need you. I don't want you.
They don't have a voice. If you guys tell someone you're unsubbing, you don't have a voice.
Exactly. Well, and you know why that bothers me so much? Like, there's this hit piece article that was written about me like 2 years ago, and I know it was another YouTuber, and I'm not going to name him, but I know that this person just took 20% of truth. Like 20% of some truth, and then fabricated all kinds of stuff, made up a whole narrative, the whole nine, trying to paint me to be this whatever the hell. And I still get people asking me about this, questioning me about, I'm like, are you kidding me? So a blog article that was written anonymously on an anonymous blog site with no accountability whatsoever, making the most crazy claims about somebody in the public eye, and you're actually going to question me whether or not it's true? It's like people just don't know how to think. And so I don't know. When I see that, it pisses me off. Like, just buzz off. Go find your next top 10 token pump video. Whatever, man.
Good for titles, though.
It is good for titles.
People love, that's what some people say I'm clickbaiting, but I do talk about what I say I'm going to talk about in the title. Sure. But those videos because that's what people want. They want to know what's the top. What do I need to go buy right now?
I've got a video coming out Monday. Make $1 million in crypto in 2021. Yeah. But it's a legit video.
Good title. Let me write that down.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a legit video. When people watch it, they're going to be like, okay, this makes all the sense in the world. And I think I could start, all I ever want to do is point people in the right direction. and that's it. And there is some responsibility as YouTubers that we have to our viewers, but I also believe that as viewers, they have a lot of responsibility as well. We're not here to tell them, what to do. We're telling them what's possible, and it's up to them to take it from there.
That's a good, what's possible, right?
So
because it's obviously possible if you see someone doing it,
right? Why haven't you gotten a bot trading? That should be like your biggest thing.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Someone asked that, or you asked that?
I'm asking you that.
Why haven't I gotten to bot trading?
Yeah.
Because I can never get the bots set up. I can't never figure it out. I'm too stupid.
You're kidding me.
I mean, the last time I've tried maybe 2 bots.
Which ones did you try?
I don't even remember. This was a long time ago, but I tried setting up a bot and I can never, it's just too much to configure. But if there's an easy one out there, I'll try.
I will send you a license to Crow Trader. It's my own bot. And you will be able to set it up and it'll be running and start making you profit, and it'll take you 10 minutes and you don't have to really configure much. You
can use base configure settings. My own stuff though?
Yep.
Like I can set my 1334 moving average?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you can use base settings, or you can configure each different. There's like 6 different strategies, from like EMA to ping pong. You can even I think there's still, the devs are still working on perfecting it a little bit, but there's even an Ichimoku Cloud strategy that you can like fine tune. So there's all kinds of stuff in there, man. And I'll give you a license to try it, because
appreciate it.
I love bot. So the stuff that you do with all of these, dApps and all these other things, that's basically what I try to do with bot trading. Yeah.
Everybody wants passive income, man.
Well, it's like treasure hunting,
Right.
It is. It's like treasure hunting. Anytime I find a strategy that really works well in a particular market, and then I'm sharing it, I feel like I'm giving away a treasure map to people. I truly do. And in my head, that's why I'm like, I know this would be such a big deal for you. And I'm like, how is Trey not in the freaking bot trading? It's crazy.
I can never get it set up to work. Maybe I don't understand the language, because like I say, going back, I look at myself, I am a user.
Sure.
I am the mass, because that's where my intelligence level is.
Right.
I just know a lot about crypto because I've been doing it for so long. I know a lot about maybe not trading, but charting, because I've been doing it for so long.
You understand a Bollinger Band?
Yeah, I understand Bollinger Band.
If you understand a Bollinger Band, you can create your own Bollinger Band strategies in the bot.
It's just, I mean, like the parameter, like the lingo on the user interface, like some of the words that they use, I might not know what they mean. Like I can't even give it a good example, but set blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the blah 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 is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, something tells me you'll. I mean, like, dude, my bot was made specifically for people like that. Because when I first got into bot trading, the first license I got was Gunbot. That was like, you almost have to be a solid state electrical engineer to understand that freaking bot and the mechanics.
Reason I think another reason why I never stuck with trying to figure it out is because I don't hear a lot of people talking about bots. So it must not be anything worth.
Oh, dude, they're wrong.
Setting up.
So
you're setting up. So you have a bot running and it just produces you nonstop profit.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm telling you.
So why don't you just go all in on the bot?
Oh, dude, I was trading with 2 Bitcoin back when I was really heavily bot trading, and I was still new.
What happened?
The market came down.
Okay, so that's what happens. The market goes down, it stops working.
So here's what happens. So when the market is really volatile, Bitcoin's going up and down, and altcoins are going up and down. The bot is like ching 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 ching. You're basically like the Fed printing money, right?
Oh, so when it's consolidating.
Yes. Well, not necessarily consolidating. When it's just kind of flat, there's not much activity. You'll get some trades, but it's not. It's when things are nuts, right? Like the more volatile the bull market gets, more the bot is going to purr away trades. But what happens is, let's say I'm running a strategy about Cardano, right? Okay, just as an example. But Cardano's 10 cents, and then Bitcoin, and then maybe you buy 1,000 Cardano in a trade, and then you're waiting for an exit based on your strategy. But then Bitcoin shoots up $3,000 that afternoon. Now you've got a bag. And so at that point, you have to wait for that bag. You have to wait for it to meet the price to meet again in the future. So that's what creates a problem. But the way you resolve that, one of the things is through like DCA, you know, which is the one feature that my bot doesn't have yet. But I'm gonna like enforce it here very soon, because you have to have it so that you basically you end up with a bag and you DCA, you can just continue doubling down, lowering your average entry price, which makes the time span for you to get that pricing crossover much quicker. And then and typically when you do that, you make even more profit than you normally would have to begin with. There are, let me just say that I
think I could probably do well if I pointed it at, like, I would still probably have to do some type of research. Like if I saw something, I'm guessing you do like this. You see an opportunity and then you point your bot at it. Is that what you do? Basically?
Kind of. Like I use Masari, Masari.io. I have a pro account on there. And I can go through all of the different coins, and I can look at their volatility ratings. And I'll go and I'll say, okay, which of these tokens have the highest volatility, and which ones may I not worry so much if I have a bag. If it's a complete shit coin, I don't want to trade it. Because if I do end up with a bag as Bitcoin's rising, I don't want to hold on to that crappy coin. So I try to find projects that I want to trade actively with high volatility against Bitcoin, or I specifically look at coins with at least a 7-day run with a much higher percentage in growth than Bitcoin, because that means that there's going to be kind of a built-in volatility, but the altcoin's going to come out on top, and that's going to make for a lot more active trades in that pair. Dude, I will get you going on this, and even privately, I will get you learned on how to use this, and you'll love it. I promise you'll love it. So
yeah, I've always, I mean, when I first got into crypto, I tried the bots, but you can't. Maybe you can, but I would be better at setting up a bot now, because I know I don't trade. But if I wanted to trade, if I had the time to trade, which I don't because I have 2 toddlers, if I had the time to sit here and trade, I could do it. And I think that now, if you know about trading, it's probably better to know. It's probably better to know about trading and have a bot than to not know about trading and have a bot. So somebody just said, I'm unsubbing also.
What? Unsubbing also. Okay. See ya. It's funny because chances are a lot of these people, like, they're not subscribers anyway. They're just here to hate.
And they're probably not going to unsub either.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I just lost all respect for Jason. Why would you even consider talking to this guy, even in a drunken moment? No way. Unsubbing. Sad day. That is sad. That's sad that you would negate everything I've done for the last 3 years over one video.
Because you used the interview somewhere.
Right, I know. It's all kind of ridiculous. But anyway, look, man, I've kept you for an hour. Look, haters aside, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, not everybody is simple. I like to think that like what you did, like even when I first discovered you, like I said, and look, I see new YouTubers all the time, and I try and I reach out to them, and I try to help them out. I give them advice, and if I feel like what they're doing is going to help a lot of people, I try to help them, and I'll talk about them, or whatever I can do. And I think that I call it how I see it. And when I look at you and I watch your videos, you just look like a fun dude who's raising a family, having a good time, sharing your passion for the projects you really love, and you hope everybody does as well as you do. And,
I can throw my yacht party in 2021. That's what I'm trying to do.
There you go.
Trying to get everybody rich so everybody can afford to pay their own tickets. And we have a party in 2021 this time next year.
That's the plan. I hear you, man. And look, anytime you need anything, let me know. I'm always around. I will definitely get you hooked up with that bot. And I want to see you. I want to see you having some fun with that thing, because I think you're going to get hooked, because it's going to be more fun than a lot of your DeFi stuff. I think you're just going to become a bot addict.
Yeah, the DeFi stuff is pretty slow. Like, I mean, it's consistent, but if you're impatient, you might not like it. Like all the stuff that I get into, well, not all of it, but a lot of these hourglass contracts, I call them, it takes about 3 to 4 months to get even. But once you're even, like I said in the video, but once you're even and you have a bunch of them set up over a span of, 2-3 years, it's just like clockwork. Every day it's like every day I have a new bag of crypto to buy the next DeFi hype, if I want to.
Right.
So that's what I like about it. But I'm gonna definitely check out that bot though.
Yeah, man. Is there anything that you want to say to everybody watching while you have an opportunity?
I just want to say check out toucanair.com. Maybe I'll put in the comment section of this video toucanair.com, or it's on my shirt. You can see it on my shirt, toucanair.com. To get into on some smart contracts and DeFi.
All right, cool.
And I appreciate you having me, man.
I appreciate you coming.
Stepping out there and taking it on the chin for me, man.
It is what it is, brother. I call it how I see it, and I think you're a good dude having a lot of fun, and I respect what you do. BitConnect sucked. None of us are psychic. It happens. You just happen to be, the bigger you are, the bigger you must fall when things go down. And that's, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, anytime, I always welcome to have you and watch the trolls just, threaten everything they can.
That's all they got. What's up?
It is what it is. I mean, but this is Switzerland, and it is what it is. But I appreciate you coming. I can't wait. Someday I want to get a plaque just like the one you have on your wall behind you.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary plaque.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, thanks for joining me. And for those of you guys out there that have been watching the interview, everybody has an opinion. And you know what? I appreciate each and every one of them, good or bad or ugly. If you feel like you need to subscribe from my channel because I'm interviewing somebody I find quite interesting and a good time, then that's on you. Find somebody a little less exciting, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But until next time, guys, crow your coins. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you again on Monday because I've got a pretty cool video that I think a lot of you guys are going to like, whether you're subscribed or not. I'll see you then, and have a good rest of the weekend.